Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Job transfer for all. The school bell becomes my summons. Chapter 71. 2 days after the Frostfire Rift event. The entire Washa seems to be filled with a faint tension. Although the conspiracy of the demons did not spread widely. After all, for many ordinary people, apart from causing panic, this kind of thing has no positive effect. However, for all professionals, as well as those high-level forces, such as the Washa Detective Agency, the Guardians of the Abyss Secret Realm, and other forces, this news made them more cautious and vigilant. The professionals who heard the news were slightly worried, and the efficiency of leveling has improved a bit. And those higher-level forces, even the professionals responsible for confronting these criminal organizations and alien races, it is to step up the formulation of more complete prevention policies, and increase the search and strike efforts. Although all of this seems to be just a precaution against the 250 inches. But people know that the demons will definitely make some big disturbances sooner or later. Humans must also beware of the arrangement of the demons. This time, the demons only attacked an A-level secret realm. But after that, maybe I will start with something more important. Although the Frost Flame Secret Realm is an A-level secret realm, after confirming that there are 2 mythical creatures, it is already considering upgrading to A+ or even S level. Therefore, the first thing to strengthen management is the major secret realms. After all, relatively speaking, the secret realm is a place that is easy for the demons to acquire. Just when the higher-ups started to guard against the demons. On the other hand, in the past 2 days, Washa has gradually become more and more uproarious. Because the annual college entrance examination registration has arrived. Major colleges and universities have begun intense enrollment. Many senior high school students who participated in this year's college entrance examination. I am also looking at one college after another, constantly analyzing and comparing the advantages and disadvantages of each college, and at the same time evaluating whether my talent and strength can successfully enter the standard. For those geniuses, the process of choosing a university seems to be easier. After all, their goal is those few top universities, making it easier to choose. For example, Lin Yu and Ning Shuier. Today, the two of them also came to Zhongcheng No. 1 middle school and started the registration for the college entrance examination. Lin Yu, have you registered yet? Ning Shuier asked. Good report. Lin Yu nodded. It's just that I didn't expect that the registration requirement for Shengjing University this year turned out to be level 20, which is 2 levels higher than last year. Ning Shuier also said, it seems that this year's students are generally much better than last year's. Originally, many teachers who specialize in predicting the enrollment grades of colleges and universities predicted that the enrollment grades of Shengjing University this year might be 19th grade. Because according to statistics, the overall strength and talent of the awakened candidates this year are a little stronger than last year. It's just that I didn't expect that the condition given by Shengjing University was level 20, which exceeded everyone's expectations. It seems that there are many more talented professionals this year than in previous years. Just the condition of level 20 will get stuck with many people at level 18 or even level 19. However, even if they are not blocked, among all the people who signed up for Beijing University, they are also the last ones. With this kind of strength and talent, the possibility of finally being able to enter Shengjing University is still very small. So for people at level 18 and 19, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Stop their thinking about going to Beijing University, and enroll in other top universities, the chances of being admitted will be even greater. Today, in Zhongcheng No. 1 middle school, some teachers who were in charge of recruiting students from other colleges and universities also came. After all, the top students are only a small group, and more are those students who are on the average level. And these teachers are naturally responsible for selecting potential students from among these professionals as much as possible, and let them sign up for their universities. As for Lin Yu and Ning Shuier, for these 2 people, the teachers in charge of enrollment were naturally very conscious and did not come forward to discuss school matters. After all, anyone with a normal mind knows that the goal of these 2 people is to go to Beijing University. Moreover, when seeing the 2 people's levels, many teachers' eyes widened in shock. Especially when seeing Lin Yu's level of 40, the look in his eyes is already somewhat suspicious of life. Good guy. I haven't seen you for a few days. Lin Yudu is level 40. In a few days, won't it be that we will surpass us? A teacher who taught Lin Yu a theory class said dumbfoundingly. Old Tang, the class teacher at the side, nodded, shocked and proud at the same time. Seeing the two, Old Tang and several teachers came forward and said with a smile. Lin Yu, Ning Shuiye, have you already signed up for Peking University? Lin Yu and Ning Shuiye nodded together. Old Tang also nodded, and continued. This year, the required level of Beijing University is level 20, presumably the competition will be more intense than ever. However, with your current grades, the college entrance examination is no longer a problem. As he spoke, the other teachers nodded in agreement. These two people are nothing short of monsters, no matter how much you improve your requirements for going to Peking University. Regardless of whether you require level 18, level 19, or level 20. For these two people, one is 35 and the other is 40. If this goes, people who don't know will think that the two of them are not going to the college entrance examination, but to invigilate the exam. Teacher Li Ming, who conducted a pre-exam mock battle for Lin Yu and Ning Shuiye, is here today. He is in charge of admissions at Zhongcheng University. After learning about Lin Yu and Ning Shuiye's choice, Li Ming didn't say anything, but wished them both the titles on the gold list. Not only that, after seeing Lin Yu and Ning Shuiye's level up speed is so different from ordinary people, Li Ming felt that if these two people really did not go to Beijing University but came to their Zhongcheng University, it would be too inappropriate. He also said before that Lin Yu might not be able to get more resources from Shengjing University when competing with more talented geniuses, 4.3. But now, seeing the upgrade speed of these two people. On the contrary, Li Ming felt that those geniuses in Shengjing University couldn't possibly be the opponents of Lin Yu and Ning Shuiye. Okay. Others just entered university around level 20, you monster is already level 40. Then how to compete? Therefore, Li Ming naturally wouldn't say much. Moreover, with this level and combat power, it is a certainty to be admitted to Shengjing University. Soon, after the registration process is over. Major colleges and universities have also begun to quickly count. The next day, it's time for the college entrance examination. Zhongcheng number 1 middle school is even more crowded here. As the best middle school in Zhongcheng number 1 middle school has set up a special transmission array, which can directly send candidates to their respective universities. Therefore, all the candidates of Zhongcheng, as well as the teacher in charge of managing the formation, gathered here today. Brother Lin. While waiting for the teleportation array, a voice suddenly came from behind. Lin Yu looked. It was his good friend, little fat Chen Rui. Chen Rui trotted over and said, Brother Lin, are you and Sister Ning going to Beijing University? Lin Yu nodded, yes, and said, what about you, which university did you apply for? Chen Rui chuckled and said, it's also a university in Shangjing, Minister of Resources of Shangjing. Lin Yu thought for a while, this university ranks around 10th in the whole of China, it is a very good school. At this time, Chen Rui is already level 18. In the case of last year, this is already a level that can apply for admission to Beijing University. The reason why Chen Rui's level is so high. It's because Lin Yu didn't go to the special large-scale secret realm leveling with Ning Shuiye in the past 2 days. Instead, he took Chen Rui to practice leveling. After all, I'm already level 40, and it's easy to get into any university. 08. Therefore, Lin Yu naturally wants to help his good brother. And Lin Yu chose a secret realm where the monsters were basically around level 30, but there were a lot of them. Although Chen Rui is not Lin Yu's summoner, and cannot get the bonus of 10 times the experience. However, Chen Rui's upgrade speed is still very fast under Lin Yu's quick killing of monsters when he sees them. In the past 2 days, Chen Rui has been promoted from level 14 to level 18 directly. As for why the other candidates didn't find someone to carry the upgrade like this. Naturally, it was because of Huasha's regulations that only those who took the college entrance examination in the same year could form a team and enter the secret realm for leveling. Otherwise it counts as cheating. Otherwise, people from many big families can send people to take their juniors to upgrade and then take the college entrance examination. This will lose the significance of the college entrance examination selection. Chen Rui also said very gratefully at this time, thanks to Brother Lin for taking me to upgrade, otherwise I wouldn't be able to apply for such a good school. Lin Yu said with a smile, small meaning, of course a good brother will help if he can. While Lin Yu was laughing and laughing, the other side was not far away. Li Dolly, who hadn't seen him for a long time, seemed to be talking about something. Based on their understanding of Li Dolly, it goes without saying that they must be bragging about something again. And Li Dolly also saw Lin Yu, his face darkened suddenly. Now the deeds of Lin Yu and Ning Shuier have spread throughout Zhongcheng. Their popularity can be said to be the highest among the new generation. What about Zhongcheng Gemini, fairy couple, and so on? Whenever Li Dolly heard it, he was so jealous and angry that he couldn't sleep. During the leveling time before the college entrance examination, in order to surpass Lin Yu, he worked hard and frantically to level up like a dead dog. It's a pity that his own strength is just like that. When he frantically formed a team to curry favor with more talented geniuses. Just barely reached level 14. Level 14, this year, can only apply for very ordinary universities, even much lower than the average. But a few days ago, when I saw that both Lin Yu and Ning Shuier had surpassed level 30, Li Dolly has already doubted life, and his three views have been subverted. And when he saw that Chen Rui had reached level 18 yesterday, he almost spat out a mouthful of old blood in shock. After inquiring, I found out that it was Lin Yu who took Chen Rui to practice leveling casually, and he jumped straight away. At the 18th level, he can apply for the top 10 colleges and universities in China, which makes Li Dolly already mad with jealousy. However, with his level and character, he is no longer at the same level as Lin Yu and others. Soon, the huge teleportation formation has been activated. Seeing the two formation masters who manage the formation, and the 100 level displayed above their heads, many students are both envious and looking forward to it. I hope they can reach this level one day. And then, the principal of Zhongcheng No. 1 Middle School also said loudly, everyone, the formation has been activated. Here, I wish all the candidates that they can be successfully admitted to the colleges and universities they expect, and get titles on the gold list. Next, start sending according to the order of the schools you applied for. Following the voice of the old principal of No. 1 Middle School, many students also started to commotion. I'm so nervous. I'm about to send it to the university I'm applying for. Phew, I hope I can perform stably and pass the exam smoothly. I reviewed the theoretical knowledge for a day yesterday. I hope I won't be eliminated because the theoretical class is not up to standard. I've practiced too hard these days, and my body is still a little sore. Will it affect my exam? All candidates are nervous and looking forward to it. And Lin Yu and Ning Shuier, even in this tense atmosphere, their hearts are very peaceful. After all, after having the thrilling and strange experience in the Frost Flame Secret Realm, just the college entrance examination can no longer shake the minds of the two of them. Soon, the students who were called stepped into the teleportation array one after another, and teleported to their respective ministers for the exam. Candidates who apply for the Beijing Resources University, please go to the teleportation formation. Beside the formation, the 100-level formation mage responsible for the operation of the transmission formation said loudly, it's Chen Rui's school turn. And Chen Rui also turned his head to look at Lin Yu and Ning Shuier and said, Brother Lin, Sister Ning, it's my turn, I'm leaving. Ning Shuier nodded slightly, and said to him, oil. Lin Yu smiled and patted him on the shoulder. 870 said, good brother, come on. No problem. Chen Rui also smiled naively, waved at the two of them, then stepped into the teleportation array and disappeared. Soon, the teleportation of Shangjing University arrived. Lin Yu and Ning Shuier looked at each other, and then stepped onto the teleportation array. In addition to the two, there are several Zhongcheng geniuses who also stepped forward together. Under the envious eyes of many candidates, several people disappeared in the teleportation array. After walking into the teleportation array, Lin Yu only felt that he was moving slowly. There are fuzzy energy fluctuations all around, and the surrounding scene has become a monster of light Lu Li. A few seconds later, Lin Yu found out that I have already walked out from the teleportation array of Shangjing University. It's interesting, it feels a little different from the previous teleportation into the secret realm. Lin Yu sighed. Appearing at the same time as him were several Zhang Cheng's classmates, including Ning Shuiye. At this time, more and more students have appeared around them. They are all candidates for the examination of Beijing University this year. These candidates are all geniuses among geniuses. As more and more candidates come to Shangjing University. Not long after, Lin Yu saw some old acquaintances. Chen Shu and Chen Lu, brothers and sisters of the Chen family in Shangjing. Long time no see Bai Yuqing from the Bai family in Los Angeles. And Zhang Zi from the Zhang family in Jincheng, etc. Seeing these acquaintances, Lin Yu was not surprised. These people themselves are the geniuses of the big family. The level at this moment has also exceeded the standard of level 20. With the continuous operation of the teleportation formation, more and more candidates came to Shangjing University. At this time, in Shangjing University, there are still many high-level teachers in charge of managing order. Many teachers are high-level professionals above level 100. After all, this is the annual college entrance examination. It can be said that the geniuses of the entire China are gathered in these top universities today. Therefore, the defensive strength is bound to be directly full to prevent someone from destroying it. On the bright side, many teachers above level 100 are managing and guarding. And secretly, there must be a higher level boss guarding the exam site. Soon, the teleportation array stopped functioning. Candidates for Shangjing University sent from all over China have all gathered. Because the teleportation array was arranged outside the gate of Shangjing University. Therefore, thousands of candidates are now gathered outside the school gate. Here is Shangjing University, so magnificent. A candidate said in amazement when he saw the gate of Shangjing University. The gate of Shangjing University cannot be called a gate, but directly an extremely huge formation. This formation directly spanned a distance of hundreds of meters. As for the height, it stands in front of everyone like a mountain. On the top of the formation, the words, Shangjing University, were left by top experts. From the energy radiated from the words, everyone can even feel the shocking power of the caster. Compared with such a magnificent formation, many candidates at this time only feel that they are a little different. And the internal scope of Shangjing University is even more unimaginable. What a majestic formation. Yes, it is said that the scope and facilities of the school are even more exaggerated. I really want to go in and have a look. This school gate array alone can already reflect the strength of Shangjing University. At this point, after all candidates have been sent, there is also a burst of energy flow on the school gate. Then, a teacher leading the team in front said, "Every candidate, please step into the formation." Heard what the teacher said. All candidates also walked into the formation. Afterwards, they saw the interior of Shangjing University. On the huge square that is so vast that you can't see the edge at a glance, one after another radiant formations are slowly moving. While the various high-rise buildings next to it are majestic and majestic, they also add a sense of mystery because of the faintly flowing luster on them. There are even some buildings that are directly grotesque, beyond people's normal structural cognition. In the distance, there are still continuous mountain peaks, which are also covered by strange formations. And this is just the tip of the iceberg that the candidates present can see. Shangjing University doesn't look like a university, it looks more like a city. The descendants of some big families have visited Shangjing University before, so they are no strangers to the wonders inside. And some candidates are here for the first time, and they are extremely amazed when they see the scene in Shangjing University. Is this the top university in China? I'll go. It would be great if I could level up and study in this university. I must be admitted here. After seeing the scene of going to Beijing University, many candidates immediately became motivated. However, in the next second, everyone's eyes blurred, and they found themselves in a dark space. In front of everyone, there is only a single table, and there is a test paper on the table. And everyone's field of vision is only a small part of themselves and the surrounding table. The other classmates and teachers around before all disappeared. What's going on? Where am I? I'll go, it's so dark. What about the others? Why am I the only one here? Are we teleported to a different space? Many candidates were startled. The changes that took place in a short period of time exceeded their expectations. Lin Yu found that there was only a single table in front of him, with a piece of paper full of words on it. This is a theoretical test question. Lin Yu glanced at it and found that it was the theoretical knowledge he had learned. And at this moment, a calm voice sounded in each candidate's ear. Candidates, please pay attention. What you have in front of you are the theoretical test questions for the college entrance examination of Shengjing University. Please start answering the questions. The time limit is 2 hours. After answering the questions, you can apply to submit the paper in advance, and then you can leave the examination room. The exam has officially begun. Then, there was no sound. So that's how it is. The exam has just begun. Lin Yu smiled slightly. They had just entered Shengjing University before and saw the grand view inside Shengjing University. Many candidates are also amazed by this. However, in the next second, he was directly sent to the examination room. This sudden situation has caught many candidates by surprise. This should be done on purpose by Shengjing University. While examining theoretical knowledge, I also tested my mental quality by the way. Lin Yu guessed right. In fact, when all candidates enter the school gate formation, they will already be teleported here. The scene inside the school was also deliberately shown by Shengjing University to the candidates. Now this examination room is within a well-designed formation. In fact, thousands of candidates are in the same space, but they are separated by this formation specially prepared for the exam. The teachers of Shengjing University can see the scene of this space. The exam had already started, and Lin Yu didn't write any ink, so he sat down and began to answer the questions. What happened just now, as far as his heart is concerned, will not be disturbed in the slightest. And many other talented candidates, a large part of them have been affected to a certain extent in terms of mentality and emotion. After all, most people are not ready. They thought that after entering the school and seeing the scene inside the school, the teacher will speak first, then lead them into the special theoretical examination room. Afterwards, it is emphasized that finally start the exam. But who would have thought that they had just entered the school, had just glanced at the scene in the school? In the next second, he was directly transported to this independent and dark space. Alone, facing a pair of desks and chairs, a pen, and a test question. Such a sudden design has left many candidates unprepared. After all, after continuous teleportation, sudden changes in the surrounding scenes, and the unexpected occurrence of many candidates, this will make most people a little flustered. This is the purpose of going to Peking University. After all, professionals will face many unexpected situations in the future. If they panic and cannot calm down because of a small situation, then it will not be a good thing in the future. But even so, after relieving their emotions, they basically calmed down. But whether this has any effect on their theoretical knowledge depends on their psychological quality. As for the theoretical knowledge test questions issued by Shengjing University, apart from some basic knowledge, there are also many tricky and unpopular questions. For people with average theoretical knowledge, the exam questions given by Beijing University can definitely stump a large number of people. However, for Lin Yu, whose theoretical knowledge has always been the best in the school, naturally not a problem. Similarly, among the candidates who came to apply for the Peking University, there are many amazing talents. Some people's mentality is not affected at all, and the speed of doing the questions is extremely fast. This little trick is easy. A candidate with a faint smile on his face wrote quickly. The same is true for many candidates with particularly good theoretical knowledge, and the speed of doing the questions is very fast. It seems that they think that the faster you do it, the higher your score. As for the speed of doing the questions, Lin Yu was not in a hurry, neither fast nor slow. Soon, Lin Yu finished answering the paper. After choosing to hand in the paper, the next second, the environment around him changed again, leaving the space just now, and came to a square. Lin Yu first checked the time. It took about an hour. After he came out, he found that hundreds of candidates had already handed in their test papers in advance in the square. These candidates who came out earlier communicate with each other from time to time. There seemed to be some complacent expressions on their faces. Not long after, beside Lin Yu, Ning Shuier also walked over. Lin Yu said, "How is it?" Ning Shuier nodded, "It's not difficult. Then Ning Shuier went on to say, I came over just now and heard some candidates say that the faster you do it, the higher your test scores will be. Lin Yu listened, and glanced at the few people over there. So that's why they're proud. Ning Shuier said. Maybe, what do you think? Lin Yu shook his head and said. Since the exam stipulates that the time is 2 hours, it means that the speed of doing the questions is not the standard of measurement. If speed is really one of the criteria, then the school will definitely not emphasize 2 hours. Instead, they will directly say that they can hand in the paper when they are done. Since it has been stated that the time is 2 hours, there will be no difference between handing in the paper at the stuck point and handing in the paper an hour earlier. The only assessment standard for the theory test is still only the score. Ning Shuier nodded after listening. I think so. This is also the reason why it took the two of them an hour to come out. Otherwise, based on the results of Lin Yu and Ning Shuier, if it is really faster than theoretical knowledge, I'm afraid it will be done in less than 20 minutes. Compared with the complacent people over there, who is faster and who is slower. Moreover, no matter how good the grades are, once the speed of doing the questions is fast, the probability of making mistakes will increase. Sacrificing points in order to covet the irrelevant so-called speed of doing the questions is definitely an act that is not worth the candle. Soon, the 2-hour theoretical test time is over. More than 3,000 candidates have already appeared in this square. Many people's expressions were a little ugly, and it was obvious that they were a little flustered. Damn it, the theoretical questions at Beijing University are so difficult. Phew, I also find it difficult. I thought that the review was enough. Shengjing University's exam questions are too unpopular, and the angle is also very tricky. Isn't this deliberately difficult for us? What do you think? If the best university in China is so easy to get into, it won't be called the best university. And when many candidates whispered to each other, a man in a cloak appeared on the high platform of the square out of nowhere as if he had teleported. He glanced at the more than 3,000 candidates below, and said lightly, backquote, my name is Chen Chu, my occupation is level 150, a rank 5 Great Magister. Quote. The theory test is over. In a few minutes, your theoretical grades will be evaluated. Those who fail will be eliminated directly. Chen Chu's voice was even cold and heartless. Many candidates below were frightened. It is normal for a theoretical test to produce results within a few minutes. After all, this is a game coming to the real world. Many people's spiritual value is already very high. In addition, there are many special occupations. Things like batching papers or like pediatrics. A few minutes later, after the grade evaluation is complete, Chen Chu above the high platform spoke again. Among the 3,129 candidates, 549 failed to pass the test and will be eliminated directly. As soon as he finished speaking, among all the candidates in the square, those 549 eliminated persons actually had a faint light on their bodies. Many of these people had ugly expressions after the exam just now. And hearing that they will be eliminated directly, many people are a little anxious. Teacher, can't we participate in the actual combat test later? Yeah, I worked so hard to level up before, but now I can't even participate in the actual combat test. Theoretical grades are only a very small part. Professionals must mainly look at combat ability. That's right, teacher, can't you give me another chance? Among those who were eliminated, many people were in a hurry. Many of them have very mediocre theoretical grades. But it would be a pity not to participate in the actual combat test if I thought that I had awakened a high level or even a hidden profession and had superior combat effectiveness. Hearing the commotion, Chen Chu said in a cold voice with no expression on his face. Professionals mainly look at combat ability. Hehe, do you think that after awakening a high-level profession or a hidden profession, you have already become a dragon and phoenix among people, and you have already stood on a higher starting point than others? If you can't even master the most basic theoretical knowledge, why do you think that with your brains, you can become a strong guard in the future? With your self-righteous fighting power. Excellent fighting is not about picking up a weapon and smashing it without thinking, but it also requires a lot of theoretical knowledge and the support of the mind. If you can't even master these theoretical knowledge, let alone be promoted to a high level and complete a high-level job change, whether you can live to that time is a question. Going to Beijing University. Don't train reckless people who only know how to fight and have no brains. When Chen Chu spoke, he even carried a touch of magic power. Put a layer of pressure on the huge square. The sound fell into the ears of those who were clamoring just now, like a heavy hammer, hitting their eardrums and even their brains a little painful. These clamoring people suddenly dare not make a sound. But there are even some people who want to continue to speak a few words. Chen Chu lightly raised a finger, and the examinee disappeared in place. At the same time, there were more than 500 candidates who had already been eliminated. They have been sent away from Shengjing University. At this moment, the atmosphere in the square was slightly depressing. Such a cruel test, let many people know. Once eliminated, there will be no possibility of recovery. They will have no chance with China's top university, Shengjing University. Therefore, many people are becoming more and more nervous. Because what follows is a more brutal actual combat test. But at the same time, there are also some candidates who are very confident in their combat power. Eager to try it, I am very much looking forward to the next assessment. Then, Chen Chu continued. The next step is to test Shuai in actual combat. After finishing speaking, he waved his hand, and a terrifying giant calendar suddenly spread in the sky. Boom! In the sky, a huge vortex with a radius of several kilometers slowly appeared, replacing the original sky. And at the same time, there are more than a dozen teachers whose levels have all exceeded level 120. They are defending the appearance of something. Soon, the objects that appeared in the sky and gave infinite oppression to everyone below slowly appeared. It was a huge tower with no end in sight. Chen Chu said, "This is the location of the actual combat test, and it is also one of the artifacts I went to Beijing University, called the Endless Tower. And the content of this actual combat test is to challenge the tower." The rest of the more than 2,000 candidates below all showed incomparably shocked expressions. Because some people have heard of the artifact mastered by Shengjing University, the Endless Tower. The content of the actual combat at Beijing University this year turned out to be the Endless Tower. I'll go, this is a legendary artifact. I didn't expect that this year, Beijing University even used such artifacts. I'm so lucky to be able to enter the Endless Tower, I'm really looking forward to it. Those dozens of teachers with more than 100 levels are also to ensure the safety of the artifact. Chen Chu on the high platform continued to say to the 2,580 candidates below. Next, let me explain the detailed content and precautions of the assessment in Chengta. In the Endless Tower, there are towers of challenge, towers of glory, and towers of plague. And this assessment is divided into 5 stages in total. The 5 stages of assessment are as follows. 927. Phase 1. The speed of clearing the first 10 floors of the Tower of Challenge. Phase 2. The number of monsters killed within 30 minutes. Phase 3. Randomly match candidates to fight 5 times. Phase 4. Team escape battle. Stage 5. Unlimited Tower Climbing Challenge. Stages 1 and 2 are held in the Tower of Challenge, and stages 3 and 4 are held in the Tower of Glory. And the 5th stage, the challenge of infinite tower climbing, will be carried out in the Tower of Plague. This challenge is judged by the score. Only those whose scores meet the standard can enter the next stage. At the end of each stage, the current score ranking will be announced. Finally, after the 5 stages are over, the admission eligibility will be determined based on the final scores you have obtained. Hearing the rules from Chen Chu, the candidates below quickly became agitated. My God, there are actually 5 assessment stages. This is too harsh. AICD, and it's still assessed in an artifact like the Endless Tower, and the content of the assessment is also varied, so it's exciting to think about it. Please don't say exciting or not. This is the college entrance examination, not playing games. Phew, I'm starting to get nervous. It not only tests the ability and speed of killing monsters, but also the battle and cooperation between people. The exam questions of Shengjing University are really tight. When Lin Yu and Ning Shuier heard the content of the actual combat test, they also found it novel and eager to try it. And after Chen Chu finished explaining the rules, a huge magic power gradually released from him. Now, activate the Endless Tower. Chen Chu shouted. The magic power on his body exploded, rushing toward the endless towers in the sky. And more than a dozen high-level professionals around the tower also shot together to release their power. The endless tower above the sky is slowly running. This is an extraordinary artifact, and to activate it, at least a dozen high-level professionals above level 100 need to work together. Candidates, enter the tower. After activating the tower, Chen Chu said loudly. Boom. More than 2,000 candidates, following a pulling force, all entered the interior of the endless tower. The space in this endless tower is huge. Among them, a world of its own. After entering, more than 2,000 candidates from Shengjing University also gathered together. Excited and nervous on their faces. Now, the Tower of Challenge is ready to activate. Chen Chu's voice sounded in the tower. Next, you will be sent to your respective challenge spaces. Remember, the stage competition is about the speed of killing monsters. The faster you kill, the shorter the time to challenge the 10th floor, the higher the score you will get. Be prepared. After speaking, Chen Chu and several other teachers adjusted the settings in the endless tower. Afterwards, more than 2,000 students were enveloped by a huge beam of light. After that, they came to their respective challenge spaces. Now, the challenge begins. Outside the endless tower, on a hill inside Shengjing University, an old man with a white beard sat cross-legged on the ground, looking towards the direction of the endless tower. Behind him stood a tall and straight young man, and a woman with a beautiful face and an enchanting figure. Principal, I didn't expect you to come to see this year's college entrance examination in person. The woman said with a smile, her voice soft. What are you talking about, Zhaoni? I pay attention to the college entrance examination every year. The white-bearded old man said, but his eyes did not leave the direction of the endless tower. In addition, the tall and straight young man also said with some surprise. However, Principal, you actually moved out the endless tower for assessment this year. The last time you used the endless tower for assessment was more than 20 years ago, right? The woman also echoed, yes, Principal, it's just a small college entrance examination. Isn't it too labor-intensive to use the endless tower? You don't understand. The principal with white beard waved his hand disdainfully and said, didn't you realize that these young seedlings this year are not easy compared to previous years? There are more seedlings with potential, so naturally we need to use the tower to screen them. Besides, it's not just candidates from Shengjing University who participated in the tower this year. Hearing what the white-bearded old man said, the two people behind were a little surprised. You mean, the assessments of other schools also borrowed our tower? The headmaster nodded cheerfully and said, that's natural. The towers have been moved out. Of course, we have to bring in several other universities to play together. Modu University, Zhongcheng University, Haicheng University, are all here. Just watch, there will be a good show this year, haha. At this time, more than 2,000 candidates have all entered their respective challenge spaces. Before, all the candidates gathered together. In a blink of an eye, it became a situation of one person, one space again. But this time, a group of talented candidates are also ready. And Chen Chu has explained the assessment criteria of the first stage. It is the speed of killing monsters. The faster you can complete the first 10 floors of the Tower of Challenge, the higher your score will be. Candidates have no doubts about such detailed and simple rules. Soon, the same monster appeared in front of all the candidates at the same time. Level 1. It's a level 13 giant bear spirit. Meanwhile, beyond the endless tower, the pictures of these many candidates in the tower are also revealed. Those teachers above level 120, while guarding the tower, are also watching these pictures. But because there are too many pictures, they just take a look at it. There is also a protection mechanism in the tower, so that the candidates will not die. So these teachers looked at the pictures of the candidates in the tower, and started chatting. Stage 1 is to challenge the 10th floor. Chen Chu, what interesting monsters did you arrange on the last floor? A man wearing combat goggles said with interest. There are a few small equipment that look full of technology on his body, and there is a spherical mechanical device with flashing lights and running all the time on his shoulder. Chen Chu on the other side glanced at him and said, it's nothing interesting, just put a level 25 gargoyle on the 10th floor. After hearing what Chen Chu said, the other teachers looked at Chen Chu with weird eyes. Chen Chu, you are still black-bellied. The mechanic with a strong sense of technology sighed. I'd also like to see what expressions these candidates make when they encounter such a monster and are eager to pass the level. Another very tall and strong man said with a smile. Pay attention and see who is the first to reach the 10th floor and encounter the gargoyle. At this time, the assessment in the Tower of Challenge has already begun. Facing the giant bear that appeared on the first floor, Lin Yu didn't even look at it, he swung his sword at the fastest speed. Instantly kill the giant bear spirit. Afterwards, the giant bear spirit turned into a spot of light and disappeared. Then Lin Yu came to the second floor. The second floor is 2 level 14 skeleton soldiers. Lin Yu still didn't stop, and swung his sword again. Pooh! The 2 skeleton soldiers scattered directly into a skeleton frame. Spike again. With Lin Yu's total attributes of several thousand points, there is no suspense at all in killing these mobs of more than 10 levels. The 3rd floor. The 4th floor. The 5th floor. For each floor, Lin Yu doesn't use any skills. Regardless of the number of monsters or the type of monsters. Meeting is a knife. Kill them all with one blow. He challenged the 10-story tower, and the time for killing monsters was already negligible. The only time consumed is the time necessary for monsters to refresh. After reaching the 6th floor, the level of monsters spans several levels. 5 level 20 monsters appeared immediately. For many students, starting from this floor, their speed of killing monsters has slowed down a lot. After all, many candidates, who are themselves level 20. Although it is easy to face an ordinary monster of level 20 or below. It can be hacked to death with a few knives. But facing 5 level 20 monsters at the same time, there is still a lot of pressure. However, for those candidates whose level is higher than level 20 and whose combat power is extraordinary, this 6th floor is still not difficult. And when these, ordinary, geniuses were fighting with many monsters, Lin Yu has reached the 10th floor. Look at this kid, he has already reached the 10th floor. Outside the tower, some teachers pointed to a picture in front of them and said, I noticed him too, all the monsters in front of him were killed in one blow. So powerful. Yes. His level. Wait a minute. Level 40. The mechanic wiped his glasses, and even wondered if there was something wrong with his high-tech tactical eyepiece. Chen Chu, are you sure this kid is a college entrance examination candidate? When the other teachers heard this, they came over in shock. As for Chen Chu, when he was on the high platform in the square before, he had already noticed that Lin Yu, who was level 40, was already there. Facing the astonishment of the teachers at this moment, Chen Chu nodded slightly. It's a candidate. The tall and strong man's eyes widened, and he said in disbelief. 40-level college entrance examination candidates, it seems unprecedented. If it's not cheating, the upgrade speed is too fast. What is his profession? I'm going to the second round of Summoning Master. When these high-level teachers noticed Lin Yu's level and occupation, Rao was a little uneasy based on their knowledge. And Chen Chu said, if it's just a high-level occupation or even a hidden occupation, it's a bit strange. But the summoner's words can actually explain it. Another woman wearing a white robe, vaguely outlining a seductive figure, said thoughtfully. You mean, this little summoner summoned a unique creature? This white-robed female mage is a hidden profession that has also reached level 150, a rank 5 elemental saint. Chen Chu nodded and said, very likely. At the same time, on the other side, a teacher said in surprise. There is another girl here, and she has also reached the 10th floor. Everyone zoomed in on the screen, and found that it was a level 36 rank 2 seraph. Oh my god, it's another one that has turned 2. Seraphim. It's the second rank of the hidden professional Holy Light Angel. I didn't expect her level to be so high, level 36. The teachers were shocked again. I already passed the second turn during the college entrance examination. It's rare in the whole history, right? And the two of them not only completed the second turn, but also have a level of 36 and a level of 40. After the second turn, the difficulty of leveling up will increase a lot, but they are still upgrading rapidly after level 30. Seeing the occupations and levels of these two people, Chen Chu, a level 155 rank Great Magister, didn't think much of anything. It turns out that the two of them are the geniuses that the juniors in the family met a few days ago. Chen Chu, one of the elders of the Chen family in Shangjing. It's just that because I work in Shangjing University, I don't pay much attention to family affairs. Moreover, in a high position, the things that need to be paid attention to and dealt with are naturally not these. 0.0. But Lin Yu and Ning Shuier, at this moment, he has already recalled it. It's interesting. To these two people, gargoyles are no different from ordinary monsters, so they can't be bothered. Chen Chu said lightly. Other teachers also firmly agree. No matter what level 25 gargoyle you are, for professionals who have already turned 2, it is as easy as chopping melons and vegetables. The monster on the last floor is a gargoyle. The movement of the gargoyle is very slow, and the attack power is not high. Therefore, even for level 20 professionals, there is no threat. But the only problem is, Stage 1 requires monster killing speed. The biggest feature of gargoyle is its high defense. Therefore, candidates will be greatly slowed down by the gargoyle to break through the level. This is the reason why those teachers outside said that the gargoyle set by Chen Chu is disgusting. This is a big challenge for professional attack power. When the gargoyle appeared, Lin Yu also glanced at its attributes. The other attributes of the gargoyle are only around 100, but the defense alone has reached 300 points. Seeing Lin Yu with such weird attributes, he had some guesses. It's really a monster specially used to embarrass people. Lin Yu sighed a little. Then raised his hand. Directly chopped the gargoyle into powder. After the gargoyle died, a ray of light suddenly appeared on Lin Yu's body. This is a reminder to complete the Stage 1 challenge. On the 10th floor, all the monsters, including Lin Yu, were instantly killed the moment they appeared. His time is only the necessary time for the monsters on the next level to refresh. This means that the speed at which Lin Yu challenged the 10-story tower has reached the limit. I don't know if I challenge the speed of the 10th floor, can I rank first? After everyone has completed the 10th floor challenge. Everyone has their own time and score, as well as everyone's ranking in front of their eyes. First place, Lin Yu, time 1 minute 31 seconds, score 1000. Second place, Ning Shuier, time 1 minute 33 seconds, score 1000. The third place, Mu Fei, took 3 minutes and 21 seconds, scored 990. Fourth place, Tang Xian, scoring in 3 minutes and 28 seconds, 990. After seeing the rankings appear, Lin Yu smiled slightly, no surprises. Then he continued to look back, and after a while, he also found a few familiar names. Number 11, Chen Shu, with a time of 4 minutes and 58 seconds and a score of 930. Number 16, Chen Lu, 5 minutes and 12 seconds, score 910. Number 21, Bai Yuqing, 5 minutes and 50 seconds, score 880-990. Number 62, Zhang Zi, took 7 minutes and 10 seconds, scored 840. The brothers and sisters of the Chen family are quite high in the ranking. Lin Yu actually didn't know much about the strength of the brothers and sisters of the Chen family, as well as the strength of those geniuses of the same age. After all, he and Ning Shuier are no longer on the same level as these geniuses. You know, comparing the current strength of the two of them to these geniuses of the same age. It is a bit exaggerated to say that the elders treat the younger generation as an example. But not too much, seeing that Chen Shu, Chen Lu and others can have this ranking. Lin Yu now has a general understanding of the strength of these geniuses. But he also noticed one thing, that is the strength of the third and fourth place. It seems to be significantly stronger than the people behind. Both Mu Fei and Tang Xian were within 3 minutes, and the fifth place was already 4 minutes away. But no matter what, there is nothing to be afraid of. Ning Shuier's inner thoughts after seeing the ranking were similar to Lin Yu's. But, when other candidates saw this ranking, they were immediately blown away. Wait, is this ranking really correct? What kind of monster is more than 1 minute? Between each floor, the interval between monster refreshes is 10 seconds, that is to say, just counting the necessary interval, there are 1 minute and 30 seconds. How did the first two pass the checkpoint time of more than 1 minute and 30 seconds? Don't tell me that the first person to kill the monsters on these 10 floors only took 1 second in total. And the second place only took 3 seconds. You are teasing me. Impossible, there must be something wrong with this time. The third and fourth place Mu Fei and Tang Xian also had twitching faces. They thought they would be number 1, or number 2. It turned out to be nothing, just third and fourth. But that's not a problem either. The most critical problem is that there is almost a 2-minute gap between them and the top 2. This is what both of them can't understand the most. After all, for the two of them, their breakthrough speed has been brought to the extreme. And both of their occupations are hidden occupations. In terms of level combat power, they also think they are the best among all candidates. But not only did they not win the top 2, but there was a gap of almost 2 minutes between them. As many howl, it takes 10 seconds to refresh monsters each time. The interval between 10 layers of monsters adds up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. What's the matter with the two of you, 131 and 133? When these candidates doubt their lives, the teachers outside the tower also communicated in shock. Is this speed already the fastest record? Mechanic Yi Xing asked. Chen Chu nodded. Well, excluding the monster refresh time, the actual battle time between the two of them is actually only 1 second and 3 seconds. At least on the Tower of Challenge in the previous college entrance examinations, there has never been such a speed. Even the third place Mu Fei has already surpassed the previous record, but, this time, there are 2 evildoers among the evildoers. The strong man also sighed. After all, Mu Fei is only level 25, and the 2 in front of him are level 36, level 40, and even turned 2, so how do they play? However, I'm still quite curious. Even if their combat power is unparalleled, how did they rise to such a high level in such a short period of time before the college entrance examination? Lu Shang, the 5th rank elemental saint, said curiously. Their secret realm entry and exit, and team formation records are also completely normal, and there is no sign of cheating and leveling. Even if they use the experience secret medicine, plus their own monster killing efficiency, at most they will be at the same level as Mu Fei, right? Other teachers are also a little doubtful. And Chen Chu glanced at them, and said lightly, there is no need to delve into this kind of matter. The level before the college entrance examination can only be practiced step by step. If they can reach this level, there may be something unknown, but as long as there is no cheating, there is no problem. By the way, speaking of this, a few days ago, the demons tried to intervene in the human secret realm, have you heard? Hearing what Chen Chu said, most of the teachers nodded slightly. Although the teachers present were not responsible for dealing with the prevention of demons, strengthening of the secret realm, and the management and control of all parties. But the news is still in the know. Yi Xing, on the other hand, was very shocked. What? There is such a thing? Why don't I know? The strong man looked at Yi Xing helplessly, and said. You work with those iron guys in your laboratory every day, and you can't even ask you to come out for a meal. If it wasn't arranged for you to be in charge of the test site, you should stay in the laboratory for a few months. How could you know this kind of news? Yi Xing didn't deny what the strong man said, but continued to ask, after that, did you solve those demons? Chen Chu didn't answer immediately, but asked rhetorically. Do you know the purpose of the demons' invasion of the Frost Flame secret realm this time? Have no idea. The goal of the demons is the 2 mythical creatures in the Frost Flame secret realm. Chen Chu said. What? Is there a mythical creature in the Frost Flame secret realm? I remember that the Frost Flame secret realm is just an A-level secret realm in 4.4. This is news that many teachers do not know. The elemental saint Lu Shang explained. After confirming that there are mythical creatures in the Frost Flame secret realm, the Frost Flame secret realm has also begun to consider upgrading it to an S-level secret realm. Many teachers nodded. There are mythical creatures, and even the S rank may be low. If the mythical creatures are really controlled by the demons, the consequences will be unimaginable. Who discovered the handwriting of the demons in time? This is too critical. Why haven't I heard about such a thrilling battle? Yi Xing was a little anxious, as if he missed some big news. Is it the demons dealt with by the manager of the Frost Flame secret realm? Or some adventurous party going deep into the quest? Chen Chu shook his head and said, no. The people who destroyed the demon race plan in time are the 2 candidates who are now number 1 and number 2. However, it is not very accurate to say that, and I only heard the news from the family. These 2 candidates were just teaming up to practice at the beginning. To be precise, the one who really destroyed the demon plan is the candidate named Lin Yu, who is currently ranked number 1. What? Just him? Chen Chu, are you sure he's the only one? Yi Xing said in surprise. Among the Secret Realm managers of the Frostflame Secret Realm, there are professionals from the Chen family working there. I heard some news from them. Chen Chu explained. Is it really this Lin Yu who solved it? That's the demon race. Since they want to intervene in the Secret Realm, they should at least send demons above level 60, right? That's right. Although Lin Yu is already level 40, and has turned 2, it's still impossible to deal with high-level demons. And there is another question. How did the demons sneak into the Frostflame Secret Realm? Although many teachers know about the demons' invasion of the Secret Realm, they don't know the details. Chen Chu said, it is naturally impossible for the demons to invade on a large scale. However, if someone joins the demon clan and helps the demon clan to do things in the secret territory, it can still be done. Hearing what Chen Chu said, all the teachers present nodded thoughtfully, understanding what he meant. Chen Chu continued, that is a level 65 degenerate warlock, and it is said that he has mastered many demon skills. However, was still killed by Lin Yu alone. Level 40 solo kills a fallen warlock of level 65 demons. Impossible. Yi Xing blurted out. No wonder he was so surprised, other teachers felt the same way. This is a full gap of 25 levels, and the level 65 corrupted warlock is already a third-rank job. And Chen Chu shrugged slightly, without explaining this. He himself wanted to know how Lin Yu did it. By the way, Chen Chu continued, you said just now that although Lin Yu is level 40 and has already turned 2, in fact, when he killed the fallen warlock at level 65, Lin Yu happened to be doing the second turn in the secret realm. So strictly speaking, he was a fallen warlock who was killed with a professional status of 1 turn. The other teachers listened and looked at Chen Chu with strange eyes. That look seemed to say again, aren't you telling a story here? At the same time, all the teachers have already prepared. In the next assessment, take a closer look. What is so special about this level 42nd rank summoning master? In previous years' college entrance examinations, there were many geniuses. And here itself is Shangjing University. Not to mention the students, aren't many teachers also geniuses back then? Therefore, they have seen too much about geniuses. It is nothing more than comparing the career potential, character, mind and other factors among the various geniuses. And like today, let them all arouse great interest and pay close attention to the situation of a candidate. But very rare. At this time, the chatting of these teachers only lasted for a short 1 or 2 minutes. Phase 1 assessment has ended. The next thing to do is the second stage of the assessment. The ranking of stage 1 just now was still displayed in front of everyone. In addition to the geniuses who cleared the level quickly and the geniuses who cleared the level in the middle, there are also geniuses who can't pass the level. After all, in the last few floors of the Tower of Challenge, monsters above level 20 appeared, and there were more than one of them. For example, on the 9th floor, there are 3 level 23 monsters. This is a great challenge for some 20th level candidates with weak combat effectiveness. Many candidates, let alone pass the 9th floor as soon as possible. They can't even pass. Lost directly to the 9th floor. The scoring method for stage 1 is that there are 10 layers in total, and each layer can get up to 100 points. As for Lin Yu and Ning Shuiye, because each time was an instant kill, they got all the points for each floor. This score is naturally evaluated according to the clearance speed of each floor. As for those candidates who can't pass the level, they will stop here and will not be able to get the following scores. Therefore, those candidates who fell on the 10th floor, the 9th floor, and even the 8th floor. Originally, I played slowly in the front, and my score was low. At this time, the following points cannot be obtained. So the score is only a low 4 or 500 points. At this time, Chen Chu's voice appeared in the cause of the tower. The second phase of the assessment begins. Quote, candidates who score more than 600 points can enter the second stage. Candidates with a score below 600, you have already been eliminated. Hearing what Chen Chu said, many candidates who had just passed the 600 mark breathed a sigh of relief. And those candidates with a score below 600 are ashamed. My score is 598, just 2 points short, so I can't participate in the second stage. The 8th floor is too difficult. There are 5 level 22 monsters. I am only level 20. How can I beat them? Damn, I'm eliminated right now. It's too fast. Many candidates who were eliminated kept wailing. In fact, among the candidates present, among the candidates in the entire Washa, they are already the best. Being able to reach level 20 in the college entrance examination has surpassed most people. Because most of the candidates in ordinary universities are only around level 15 now. However, this is Shangjing University. Level 20 is just the basics, just the beginning. Level 20 is here, there is no advantage, no lead. Many of the opponents they have to compete with are level 22, level 23, or even higher. Moreover, the exam itself at Beijing University is quite difficult. Therefore, it is reasonable for them to be eliminated. In fact, there are many 20-level candidates who did not apply for special top universities. When I learned that the assessment standard of Shangjing University this year is level 20, many candidates have already guessed that this year's top colleges and universities will be very difficult to assess and the pressure of competition will be great. So even though some candidates have already reached level 20, many of them did not choose top universities like Shangjing University. Instead, they chose those schools that are ranked behind Shangjing University, but are also top universities. For those schools, such as Zhongcheng University, this year's grade requirement is 18. Therefore, the candidates of level 20 have gone, and the probability of finally being admitted is very high. As for the students in the 20th grade, if they want to come to Beijing University to try their best and be eliminated in the end, it can only be their own choice. Soon, those eliminated students were sent out of the Endless Tower. Candidates who are currently staying in the tower and are eligible to continue to participate in the second stage of the assessment. Only 1980 left. At this stage, 600 candidates were directly eliminated. Now, the assessment of Phase 2 begins. The assessment content of the second stage is compared to the number of monsters you kill within 30 minutes. The location of the assessment is still in the Tower of Challenge. However, this time it is in one small secret realm after another formed by the Tower of Challenge. You have to kill as many monsters as possible in your respective secret realms. Every time you kill a monster, you can get points. The score of each monster is related to the level and type of the monster. The types of monsters are further divided into common monsters, elite monsters, and bosses. Whether you can find as many monsters as possible and kill them is the focus of the Stage 2 assessment. Now, start teleporting. As soon as Chen Chu's voice fell, the 1980 candidates in the Tower of Challenge were all teleported to their respective secret realms. In terms of scope, this secret realm belongs to a small secret realm, and everyone is alone in their own secret realm. And even though it is a small secret realm, the actual size is probably tens of kilometers in size. 613 and monsters are frequently refreshed. Everyone's secret realm has the same structure, and the density of monsters is also the same. This secret place is a primitive jungle. All kinds of towering trees come into view. At the foot, there are huge bushes one after another, and there are rivers and caves nearby. The situation is more complicated. In short, killing as many monsters as possible in this kind of place is quite a challenge for candidates. If you only have the ability to fight, but you can't find as many monsters as possible, that's useless. He. My profession is a stalker. I am faster and more efficient in finding monsters. The Stage 2 assessment is a perfect match for me. Some candidates were secretly delighted. My profession is a mage, and my speed is not fast, but the attack range is large, and the efficiency of killing monsters is not low. I'm a berserker, and I'm good at fighting head-on. Why don't you go and host a nest of bosses first? After entering the secret realm, many candidates also began to weigh their own strengths and weaknesses. After determining their own strengths and weaknesses, they began to act one after another. After Lin Yu came in, he was thinking about another matter. At this time, he found that there happened to be a level 15 wolf monster staring at him. He casually cut the wolf demon into 2 pieces. Then waiting for something. Kill the wolf demon versus 0.15, get 201 points. Sure enough, the monsters killed during the assessment have no experience, otherwise the 2 little guys can be upgraded by the way. What Lin Yu said was, of course, the 2 juvenile beasts of Winter Flying Dragon and Phoenix. Although they are only at level 10 now, their full attributes are already a bit scary. coupled with the attribute increase I gave them, let the two little guys go out to kill in this small secret realm, not only help themselves pass the assessment, but also let them upgrade a little bit. It's a pity. There is no experience here, so I can't level up. Then, let go of your hands and kill casually. Lin Yu also did not summon the two divine beasts, the little ice dragon and the little phoenix. As for the basic rules of this secret realm, Lin Yu, who has always been a perfect scorer in theoretical classes, naturally knows it too. This kind of setting is used to allow them to assess the secret realm, which follows certain basic rules. This kind of secret realm will refresh monsters from time to time and randomly. So I want to kill as many monsters as possible within 30 minutes. It is necessary to find a few monster gathering points. Or, specifically look for places where elite monsters and bosses are likely to be there. If you want to find these places, you need to look at the current secret environment. For example, in this huge jungle, it is necessary to judge what geographical location may have monsters gather. In this jungle, there's that little tribe-like place. There will be many monsters in there. In the wild, elite monsters may be randomly refreshed. And boss-level monsters are more likely to find a suitable habitat to stay there. This kind of place can also be called boss point. Near the boss point, there may also be elite monsters. Therefore, knowing these basic information, the rest is to roughly judge the direction of progress according to the environment of the surrounding jungle. Lin Yu's speed was very fast. While walking, he casually killed a few mobs and encountered mobs along the way. Soon, he found traces of a large number of monsters gathering in a huge cave. After discovering Lin Yu's arrival, the monsters in the cave instantly became agitated. They looked at Lin Yu viciously, restlessly and vigilantly. And the mouth is still making weird noises to attract the attention of other monsters. The behavior of these monsters surprised Lin Yu. They didn't rashly attack Lin Yu, obviously some low-level thinking had appeared. Unlike those lowest-level monsters who rushed to attack him when they saw him. In the face of his unknown enemy, he should first intimidate and call his companions. As expected of a monster that has already gathered in this cave. Lin Yu nodded. Then he raised the knife, and a sacred punishment commandment came down. Boom! A huge roar sounded instantly. A huge beam of light with a range of hundreds of meters fell down, directly smashing the entire cave into ruins. Kill Minotaur LV.15, score plus 20. Kill the large wolf demon versus .16, score plus 40. Kill Grizzly Guard versus .17, score plus 80. Kill the giant mutant mantis elite IV.18, score plus 300. Kill the bullhead lord boss LV.20, score plus 500. Since Ning Shui's Holy Punishment skill has been upgraded, the range of Holy Punishment has exceeded 100 meters. The power has also been greatly improved. Lin Yu's Holy Punishment smashed down and directly destroyed this boss in a second. At the same time, his score skyrocketed in an instant. The original 1,000 points in Stage 1 instantly increased to 4,000 points. After destroying the boss point with one move, Lin Yu continued to look for the next boss point or monster gathering point. And outside the tower, Chen Chu, Yi Xing, Lu and other teachers who were paying attention to the pictures of candidates also pay close attention to the situation of Lin Yu and Ning Shui. When they saw Ning Shui hit a holy punishment and directly destroyed a small tribe, they were all amazed by the horror of her skill. Worthy of being a level 36 second rank hidden professional seraphim, the skills are really amazing. But when these teachers saw that Lin Yu also used the same skill to directly destroy a boss point, all were shocked. What's the situation? Why can these two people use the same skill? That's a holy light skill. Ning Shui is a holy light class, so it's no problem to use it. But why can Lin Yu also use it? Isn't he a summoning master? Doesn't he fight with summons? It seems. His summon is very special. Maybe it is a special creature of the holy light. But even so, I still can't explain why the skills he uses are exactly the same as Ning Shui. Interesting. And this kind of summoner. The teachers who had been paying attention to Lin Yu originally wanted to see what kind of summoner Lin Yu would summon. What they saw in the end surprised them. As a teacher of Shangjing University, he is naturally well informed. Seeing that Lin Yu, as a summoning master, showed such an unexpected fighting style. The teachers also speculated and analyzed one after another. It was supposed to be a very smooth guessing analysis, but what they couldn't understand the most was Lin Yu actually used exactly the same skills as Ning Shuier. You know, there are many kinds of occupations on Blue Star, and there are tens of thousands of skills. It's normal to have something similar. But similarity does not mean the same. Similarity also has the difference that people can clearly distinguish. But the skills they both used just now are indeed the same. Chen Chu, you said earlier that the two of them practiced together. Could it be that Queen Lin copied Ning Shui's skills with props? Lu Shang guessed. Chen Chu also nodded thoughtfully and said, backquote, there is also this possibility. Naturally, there are such props that copy other people's skills. But not much use. The main reason is that copying other people's skills with props is usually a one-off. In other words, it can only be used once, or very few times. Moreover, because it is not a professional skill of one's own, it will consume more energy and power to use it. Each profession has many skills of its own. Unless the real shortcomings are too obvious, then copy other people's skills and use them at critical moments. Otherwise, no professional would be free to use one-time props to copy other people's skills, and then spend more energy to use them. As a professional who has completed the second turn and reached level 40 during the college entrance examination, it can already be said that he is not at the same level as other peers. Would he really do such a pointless thing? Zhao Hao, in other words. His summons are slow in clearing monsters, so I copied this large-scale skill and it just came in handy. Yi Xing guessed. But don't forget, he has already reached level 40, said the strong man Zhang Kang. Being able to reach level 40 during the college entrance examination, this kind of leveling speed is already unmatched. Does this kind of genius really know how fast to clear monsters? After hearing what Zhang Kang said, Yi Xing couldn't refute it either. Zhang Kang glanced at Yi Xing and said, I remember when you were in the college entrance examination, it seemed that you were only level 24. That year, you seemed to be the only examinee who reached the 24th level, and finally entered Shengjing University with the first place. Yi Xing nodded somewhat smugly, just about to brag about himself, when he suddenly remembered that the Lin Yu they were paying attention to in front of them was already a level 42nd rank summoning master, and he couldn't do it anymore. So he could only hold back, but asked a little puzzled, why did you say this suddenly? When you were a mechanic back then, monster spawning speed was considered one of the fastest professions, right? And then level 24, Zhang Kang said. Now that Lin Yu is at level 40, he can have such a non-human leveling speed. Do you think he might have a slow monster clearing speed? Hearing what Zhang Kang said, Yi Xing's face darkened. I agree with your point of view, it is indeed impossible for Lin Yu to clear monsters slowly. But in your tone, you seem to think that I was a low-grade 24 in the college entrance examination. What's the matter? You fat man was only level 23 in the college entrance examination. Hearing what Yi Xing said, Zhang Kang frowned, and slowly rubbed the storage ring on his finger with his right hand. Who are you calling fat? Seeing Zhang Kang's movements and the spherical high-tech machinery on Yi Xing's shoulder that is always running and may become a terrorist weapon at any time, Chen Chu also had to speak out. Cough. Students are still taking the exam, you can call after the exam. And all the teachers around saw the scene of the two of them, and they were all familiar with it. Yi Xing and Zhang Kang snorted and stopped bickering. Keep watching, wait to see what his summoner skills are. Anyway, the copied skills are also one-time. It's meaningless to explore why he wants to copy Ning Shui's skills. However, in the next period of time, the picture displayed by Lin Yu showed. It was 037 that forced everyone to continue discussing this topic. Why has he been using Ning Shui's skills? No, is Ning Shui a seraph, or is he a seraph? It feels like the skills he uses are a bit more powerful than Ning Shui's. Why don't their summoners have their own skills? All the teachers were dumbfounded. Summoner, strictly speaking, should be regarded as a mage class profession. But Chen Chu, the level 5 rank Magister Chen Chu, and the 150 level 5 rank Elemental Saint Lu Shang are a bit incomprehensible. Leaving aside the fact that Lin Yu, as a summoning master, doesn't use his own skills, it's fine to use other people's holy light skills all the time. The question is, why don't you even use a staff? Every day you take a knife and slash at that meal. The point is, you are a summoning master, and your attributes in melee seem to be amazing. Whether it's strength, physique, or speed, the more you look at it, the less you look like a summoner. The teachers present are all high-level professionals, and it can be seen at a glance that whether it's Lin Yu's casual swing of a knife, or the lethal skills released at will, far beyond the level of attributes that a level 40 professional can achieve. It seems. His summon should be a powerful symbiotic creature. Chen Chu hesitated and said. After hearing this, the other teachers nodded in agreement. This explanation is very reasonable. Only in this way can he explain why he, as a summoning master, possesses such terrifying attributes. At this time, Lin Yu in the secret realm of the Tower of Challenge destroyed one boss point after another, mob gathering points. His score has reached 40,000 points. Ning Shui's score is already over 10,000. And Mu Fei, Tang Xian, Chen Shu, Bai Yuqing and other geniuses. A little slower, I found 2 gathering points of mobs and finished killing them, and killed 2 elite mobs and some small miscellaneous fish along the way, reaching 4,000 points. A little faster or better luck, but just finished killing a boss point. Barely reached more than 5,000 points and close to 6,000 points. This means that everyone's scores are not announced in real time. Otherwise, seeing the perverted scores of Lin Yu and Ning Shui, they probably don't want to play anymore. These geniuses, after all, their attributes are there. First of all, in terms of speed, it is far behind Lin Yu. Even if their course of action is completely correct and can directly touch the boss point, the speed is also much slower than Lin Yu. Not to mention, when Lin Yu crushed everyone with speed. Every time I choose the route, it is also perfect. This also made the teachers watching the battle from the outside world, while shocked by Lin Yu's combat power, they kept nodding their heads slightly, approving Lin Yu's decision-making in the secret realm. So, now, Lin Yu has destroyed 6 boss points, more than a dozen small monster gathering places, and killed countless monsters and elite monsters encountered on the road. At the same time, since monsters will be refreshed in the secret realm, these boss points will also be refreshed. Therefore, Lin Yu killed monsters with extremely high efficiency, and there would be no vacuum period. As a result, Lin Yu has already started to follow the AICB route that he had memorized. Move back and forth between several boss points. Crazy scoring. At the same time, we will clean up some mobs and elite monsters along the way. As for Ning Shui, the general situation is similar. It's just that her skill cooldown is longer than Lin Yu's, and her speed is also slower than Lin Yu's, so her score is slightly behind. But in terms of action mode, it can also be described as scoring points. However, the other genius candidates were unaware of the actions of these 2 scoring monsters. The stalker who was very confident in the second stage of the assessment before looking for monsters at an extremely fast speed, and sneak attack. I already have 5,500 points. With my score, I might be able to make up for the lagging behind in stage 1. Even surpassing the top 2 in stage 1. The stalker thought in his heart, and couldn't help feeling a little excited. Although he knew that Lin Yu and Ning Shui had monster-like stats in stage 1. But such data can only prove that the attack power of the 2 of them is terrifying. But in the second stage of the assessment, attack power alone is useless. Even if you can kill any boss in one move, can you find many monsters and bosses as quickly as possible? This is what the stalker has in mind. Not only him, but also many other people's occupations, think the same way. Among them, some people have some skills of finding monsters or moving in a range. Their skills are all helpful in finding monsters. Therefore, many people hold back their energy and charge like mad dogs to find and kill monsters, hoping to shine in the second stage. Press Lin Yu and Ning Shui directly. In fact, what they thought was not wrong. Stage 1 can really only test a person's intuitive attack power. And the second stage is a test of comprehensive ability. It's just, these people may not be able to imagine in this life. The top 2 monsters no longer exist in the same dimension as them. That is all round and full attribute crushing. Soon, 30 minutes is up. And all the candidates who are in the secret realm have teleported rays of light appearing on their bodies. Phew, 8,800 points. I have been killing monsters from the beginning to now. There should be few people who can score higher than me. A wind mage wiped the sweat from his head, panting said. Continuously moving and fighting for 30 minutes without stopping is still quite a challenge for professionals in their 20s and above. The time is up now. I haven't killed enough yet. A berserker with a score of 9,000 gradually came out of the rage state with a happy expression on his face. He has been specifically picking bosses to kill. After all, he is not the best at speed. He is not stronger than the speed and ability of finding monsters. But what he is good at is frontal combat ability. Therefore, he carefully searched for the location of the boss point, and went to find the boss to kill. The efficiency is also very high. Soon, a group of candidates withdrew from the secret realm. Leaderboards will also be announced soon. They are both nervous and excited, looking forward to the appearance of the leaderboard. I don't know where I can rank with 9,000 points. I have 9,100 points. Can I beat the top 2 and win the first place? FK. I searched for a long time in the middle, and only found a mob gathering point. In the end, I only got 7,800 points. Shouldn't I be eliminated? Just when the candidates exited the secret realm and were full of expectations. The score ranking has also been announced. Number 1, Lin Yu, score 71,860. Second place, Ning Shuier, score, number 66,440. Third place, Longling, score 1105-0. Number 4, Zhuang Jingyao, 100,601. Fifth AA place, Liu Kei, score 9,900. In this ranking, apart from Lin Yu and Ning Shuier, afterwards, huge changes have taken place. And the most shocking thing is the extraordinary scores of Genus Material and Ning Shuier. Over 70,000 points. I'll go. Is this a score that a human can score? Did this guy blow up the entire secret realm? There is another one with more than 60,000 points. I thought I was trying my best to get to 10,000 points, and I hoped to get the first place, but it turned out. After the end of the second stage, many candidates now fully understand. The two people in front are not at the same level as them. Before, they thought that the reason why Lin Yu and Ning Shuier were fast in the first stage was only because their attacks were too strong, and they might not be so strong in other aspects. However, now that phase 2 is over, they already understand. These two people are two monsters. Phase 3 is a random battle, right? I hope I don't run into them, or it will definitely be a failure. After seeing the scores of the two, the teachers were not too surprised. After all, they had already seen the battle between Lin Yu and Ning Shuier before. It can only be described as a ruthless monster spawning machine. Chen Chu said. Phase 2 is over. Candidates with scores of 7,800 and above are ready to start the Stage 3 assessment. Those below 7,800 will be eliminated. Hearing the score conditions reported by Chen Chu, many candidates were dumbfounded. What? 7,800 points? Isn't this too high? A score of 7,800 or above can enter the next stage of the standard, directly eliminating half of the candidates. There are only 1,200 people who can continue to pass the third assessment. Those candidates who were not qualified to enter the next stage also left the tower with dejected expressions. There is no way, the assessment is so strict and cruel. Moreover, the admission of Shengjing University is not based on the number of people, but on the score. They will not draw a score line based on the number of people, but directly set a fixed score line. These eliminated candidates looked at their own scores of thousands of points, and then at the scores of 60,000 to 70,000 points of Lin Yu and Ning Shuier. Feel powerless. In fact, not only these students. Those candidates who can continue to participate in the Stage 3 assessment also feel the same. Their scores are higher, and many candidates are close to 10,000 points. So they are more incomprehensible. Why did the two people in front manage to score such horrible scores? Soon, all the candidates were sent out of the challenge tower and returned to the area where they first entered the tower. The 1,200 candidates are all gathered here at this moment. Chen Chu's voice sounded again. The rest time is 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, enter the Tower of Glory and start matching opponents randomly. After just finishing the two assessments, candidates also need a certain amount of rest time. Not only physically, but also mentally. During these 10 minutes, many people who know each other also have a short exchange. Not far from Lin Yu, Chen Shu also saw Lin Yu's position. Chen Shu immediately waved to Lin Yu and walked over. As soon as we met, Chen Shu sighed. Brother Lin, live. How can this posture look like the young master of the Chen family in Shangjing, Lin Yu's younger brother? After all, Chen Shu has seen Lin Yu's strength long ago, and he has also sincerely admired Lin Yu's strength and courage. From Chen Shu's point of view, the assessment of Shangjing University must be just a casual level for Lin Yu. Lin Yu also smiled. He saw Chen Shu's score just now, 9,300 points, and he has already ranked nearly 100. To know the results of the Stage 1 assessment, Chen Shu was ranked 11th. Lin Yu asked, "Did you make a mistake at this stage?" Chen Shu also said helplessly, "There is no mistake, it's just the reason for the druid profession. I'm not suitable for Stage 2 assessments that require fast action and a lot of racing to find and kill monsters, so it's normal for my name to lag behind. But Stage 3 is my strong point." Lin Yu listened and nodded. "I killed monsters together with Chen Shu in the secret realm before." Lin Yu also knew about the skills of druids. Lin Yu thought for a while, and it was true. Fighting with a small number of monsters, or fighting with other professionals, is what the druid profession is good at. As for the Stage 2 assessment, occupations with large-scale attack skills and the ability to clear monsters in a wide range are more popular. Afterwards, Chen Shu sighed again. "But you and Sister Ning's scores are really frighteningly high. Brother Lin, you must have been collecting boss points all the time, right? How many boss points do you need to collect in total to get such a high score?" Lin Yu thought about it for a while and said, 18 boss points, plus 8 gathering points of mobs and the mobs and elite mobs that are easily cleared along the way. 18. Although he was mentally prepared, Chen Shu was still a little shocked after hearing the number that Lin Yu said. As expected, we are not in the same world. Chen Shu smiled wryly. 30 minutes is actually very tight. For a genius of Chen Shu's strength, it is only enough for him to collect 2 boss points, and there are some small monster gathering points. Of course, the same is true for candidates with similar scores to him. Even for the other 2 candidates whose scores just exceeded 10,000, they only earned 3 boss points. But Chen Shu and other people who have seen Lin Yu fight can imagine the process of Lin Yu clearing 18 boss points. As for other candidates who didn't know Lin Yu, they couldn't imagine it at all. The 10-minute break flies by. Everyone tensed up again. Chen Shu's voice sounded again. Phase 3, according to the ranking, every 300 people will be divided into groups from the beginning to the end. Divided into 4 groups, A, B, C, and D. The opponents drawn will only be drawn in their own group. Win a game and get 1,000 points, and lose a game without adding or deducting points. After each round of battles, they will be grouped according to their scores before continuing to draw. There are 5 rounds in total, that is, everyone will have 5 battles. After Chen Shu explained the rules this time, many candidates behind were slightly relieved. This grouping method also avoids the situation where the strength gap is too large. For example, if a mid-level candidate ranked in the 500th place meets the top 10 candidates, they will basically lose without any suspense. And if they meet more than once and lose several games in a row, the ranking will drop significantly. And those candidates who are not as good as him, such as around 800, may be lucky enough to meet a weaker opponent. After winning a few games, their scores will exceed the previous 500 candidates. Therefore, to avoid this situation, they were divided into 4 groups A, B, C, D according to their rankings. Moreover, after each round of battle, the group will be adjusted according to the score ranking that changes in real time. Candidates who were originally in the 300th place and entered Group A at the end, if they lose a game, their ranking may drop to more than 300 or even more than 400. The next time he is grouped, he will be assigned to Group B. The opponents drawn are also from Group B. That's why the examinees at the back breathed a sigh of relief. Not to mention meeting Lin Yu and Ning Shuier, 2 innocent monsters. Just encountering the top 100 candidates, it is difficult for the candidates in the middle and lower reaches to win. And such a grouping method can avoid such problems. But, the top 300 candidates are a little uneasy. Those 100 or 200 candidates were a little worried that they would meet Lin Yu or Ning Shuier in the first round. Among the top 100 candidates, there are many candidates who are so worried. However, there are still some candidates who are eager to try. Although the performances of Lin Yu and Ning Shuier in the first 2 rounds were extremely terrifying. But after all, most candidates have never seen Lin Yu and Ning Shuier's shots, and they don't know what their individual strengths are. Quote. Therefore, there are also some candidates who are very confident in themselves, and even want to challenge Lin Yu and Ning Shuier. Now, 300 candidates from Group D will enter the Tower of Glory battle. Chen Chu said. Among the many examinees present, 300 of them lit up with light and disappeared in place. And one battle scene after another appeared before the eyes of many candidates. This time, the strength of the candidates of Shengjing University will finally be displayed among the candidates. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.